Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Chi-Town Blue here. How are you? It's about 4 in the morning. I just did my ritual. Actually, I found this at Big Lots, you guys. You guys remember this? Back in the day for the smooth skin, all the commercials were everywhere. And then on behalf of Ben Ryder, I got my Carmex for my lips. I'm ready for you guys. I just want to talk to you guys. This is Shock Value coming on behalf of the Key Access Expressions Publishing slash Multimedia Division. We're doing big things in the Midwest, you guys. It is another installment of Shock Value. There are some things that I do want to talk to you guys about. I just got done talking to my daughter about, this is 4 in the morning, having that moment with her, telling her about my biggest fear as a parent. I came across the video, and you guys probably have seen it, of two African American women who were given a life sentence. And it wasn't just the fact that they were given the life sentence, it was the reaction out of the courtroom that really grabbed me so much. And I've seen the video before. The young lady is heard, her name is heard, being yelled out by her mom, Erica, get up, because they had a reaction to the verdict. One young lady passed out under the desk. The other one couldn't breathe, was hyperventilating. And the mother's outcry had to be escorted out of the courtroom. It was just a dramatic and heart-wrenching experience. So go out there, take a look at it, because it'll have you treasuring parenthood so much. Nobody ever grows up and says, I want to break the law. So what happens to these kids in the beginning or during their journey? And the message that I wanted to send to mine is that despite the fact that Dad and I are no longer together, there are still morals and values that we've instilled in you since day one. And we don't want those things to be thrown by the wayside because he looks good, smells good, is saying the right things, or she's cool, and accepts you for who you are. You have to be your own individual person and know that there's love there regardless as to what Dad and I do. And we got a good group. I want to say overall we have a really good group of people who have our DNA, but who have morals and values that we want to make sure are intact, and so far so good. In my lowest of moments, they have been there to step up to say, Mama, I love you. I may not be able to cut you a check, but I can come and take you to the grocery store. The little things that say, Mom, I appreciate you for everything that you have done. So even though we are far away from each other, I want to say, Tatiana, I love you. Henry, I love you. Joshua, I love you. And Breezy, I love you so much. And I thank you for loving me through the most craziest moments in my life. I thank you for being there for me. And so this moment in time is very valuable. It's very precious. Hug them a lot more. Talk to them at 4 in the morning. Have those conversations with them. And you'll be able to see the morning to say, I can face it. I can face whatever it is because they love me unconditionally. And that is the value of being a person and being human. And when you have that type of love, you can spread it and you can share it everywhere. So go out there and take a look at that video. It gives you a reality check on what could happen. And that's a parent's biggest fear. And I want every child out there to have that conversation with their parents. Even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, you say, look, this is my biggest fear for you. And you need to know that our values and morals are still intact, even though the situation may not be, as pleasant as we all may want it. You still have been raised right. And so I'm grateful for that conversation. I really am. That leads me to my next point. I was in the shade room yesterday, and they were talking about Trump and his stimulus package, and the posting was in regards to child support. And I was just in there sharing with women, moms, dads in there that, hey, look, a lot of you are saying that the fathers are deadbeats and the moms are deadbeats, but what I'm experiencing is the fact that the corporations don't want to pay the child support that's owed. I mean, my situation is that it took them maybe 2.5 to 3 months to reimburse me. And that's because I stayed on the phone. I got the managers and supervisors in on my case to say, hey, look, you need to send these violation of court orders out to these corporations that refuse to release the money. Because that is an issue. A lot of times in certain situations, that's what it is. The person is working. The person is doing the hours, but the corporations don't want to pay. And I know that for a fact because of my own personal journey. So I was sharing that with people to say, hey, look, some are deadbeats. Some just don't want to pay. But in the grand scheme of things, neither does the corporation. They don't want to pay. So it makes it very difficult. And my thing is that you don't stop fighting just because the relationship doesn't work out. You still have to continue on that fight. A lot of postings are coming up saying, where the kids need clothes, the kids need shelter, the kids need this, that, and the third. But who's telling the child support people that those things are needed? Are you stopping just at social media saying, he's a deadbeat or she's a deadbeat? Are you picking up those phones? Are you bugging the caseworker to say, hey, look, it's been 3 weeks, it's been 2 weeks, and I haven't received a payment? Do you have your relic card on your phone so that you can check that balance every day to say, hey, look, it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks, and I haven't gotten a payment? You get those supervisors on the phone to say, hey, look, you guys need to send those letters out, letters of violation of court orders to these corporations and have them released. And the corporations are making money. They're making big money. They're going out there and they're buying out other companies, buying them out left and right. So there's money somewhere. So why aren't the employees being taken care of? And that's the bottom line, is that this big business is big business. And why lose money by helping an employee out when on the other end their main focus is closing out other companies and taking them over and getting bigger financially, getting richer, that 1%. And so I was saying that in the shade room and sharing that, to me, my philosophy is the same work that it took for you guys to make the family is the same effort that needs to go on beyond the breakup. You know what I'm saying? Moms, you need to be on those phones with those supervisors saying, look, send out a court order because they're in violation, because I haven't gotten a payment. I know that such and such is working, they have a job, but I'm not getting my errands. And when you guys stay on them like that, personal experience, when you do the work that it takes, you get results. But you can't stop at making the children. You have to go beyond that. You have to pick up the phone and say, this is what I stand in need of. Because they're not going to do it for you. The files that come through their system is a lot. You have maybe one person during an 8-hour period. They may have thousands of families that they have to sort through. That's a lot. And not everybody is going to spoon feed you and say, okay, now that you are in the system, now this is the next step. No, you have to find out what the next step is, especially if this is your first experience in the whole entire system. You have to make those calls. You have to, because your kids need stuff, because you have shelter to pay for, because you have food to buy. You have rights. And if we rely on the government, it's shut down now. So what are you going to do? Are you going to sit and badmouth the mom and the dad on social media all day? Are you going to pick up the phone and call and say, I need to talk to a supervisor? Because that's what it's going to take to get results. It's doing the work. And you have to. It doesn't stop. It was fun making them, but that job doesn't stop just because you and the dad don't work out. You still have to make those extra calls to get the results that you're looking for. You have to do the work. And that's the bottom line to it. Do the work. And you get good results. You do. You get awesome results. So that is my spiel from a mom's perspective on child support. get out there, make sure that you guys are still working as a team. Here's the thing with me, that teamwork still works. It does. If you put all of your issues to the side, and if your main focus is the kids, go beyond social media and get to work. Pick up those phones, call those supervisors, and get them to say, hey, look, this person owes me back, this amount, and then the fathers or mothers can go into the companies and say, look, these are the issues that I'm having. Can you rectify this? And 9 out of 10, they will. They'll do it if you come at it in a professional way, if you come at it with grace. With grace. And those doors will open for you. I believe it will. And then that way, jail time is not an option if you're working together with everybody. You're making those calls. You're in contact with your child's father or mother, and you guys are working together as a team. And know, hey, look, the kids are what's at stake, because they do need things, and you have a right to it, especially when that support, dad, mom, have taken their support away. So it's cool. It's really good you feel vindicated when you put forth the extra effort to speak up for a generation that can't speak for themselves. When you're that voice and you spend time talking and you spend time expressing to people how important your family is to you, that makes you an advocate, that makes you a shero in their eyes, because you won't stop. Even if it takes you 365 emails to get the point across that you are a soldier and that you are going to rule as a woman. It's all about queendom, motherhood, sisterhood. Do your job. Do your job. Get results. And it'll happen. Love you guys.